So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but Danielle and I are out here in Mammoth. There's Danielle over there. We literally just sent our tents up, and no sooner did we do that than I swear the heavens have opened up upon us. So much for the, we're gonna test this thing with a gallon of water.
Yeah, you can hear that?
What did we sign ourselves up for?
We didn't think we were going to test out rainy weather this soon.
Oops.
Well, now or never, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay, sit rep. I'm inside the literal bare food box for the moment to film, but you can see there's Danielle. That's her setup. That's mine to the right. We hope this blows over quick. Okay.
Are you comfortable in there?
We're not going to talk about that. We'll hope this blows over quick.
It looks like it lightened up a little bit.
Oh, thank God.
We got a little short downpour for a second. And just like that, it stopped. Ish.
Well, at least it's just taking a chill pill.
Well, we know that this works. I feel dry under here.
Oh, that's great. That is wonderful. Okay, so one thing I will say that is super helpful with this is these 3D printed rope tensioners, if you will, that I found on Thingiverse. I'll post a link to these in the description, but these are really nice because what I've done is I've just ran the cover up into here, through this, looped around, and then I've looped it through, and then I just have the cord running down, so in case it rains again, we're good. But we're also using the same setup. Oops. Focus phone. Sorry, my phone's being a... There we go. A little bit of a pain. I've also done the same down here. I've kind of looped it through so I can tension the sidelines, but these things, as the designer said, they're not designed to hold up a mountain bike on the top of your car, but for low load applications like this, these things are a lifesaver. Now, I'm using some 1/4-inch rope that I found at the wonderful Dollar Tree. He also had ones for 1/8-inch paracord. But personally, I actually kind of like the chunkier stuff. Maybe it's just peace of mind or something. It's also got a little bit less stretch, but that is how we are holding this whole glorious rain slash whatever comes down in the middle of the night cover. And then also Danielle had some nice long aluminum tent posts, so we're using that as well to hold it down. But obviously the sit rep is the rain stopped for now, so we're working on loading up stuff into the car so we can go run and grab some pizza because I'm very hungry. The plan is, if all goes well, you know, I personally like having a pillow. I'm gonna put the pillow there. I might or might not sleep inside the sleeping bag. I'm not really sure yet. Spare one's here in case Danielle needs it. But yeah, I mean, it is not a super, crazy setup, but it's also, I mean, I am skinny as a twig and I'm literally out here in a t-shirt and shorts. So either I am bonkers or the weather really isn't that bad. So thankfully the rain stopped a long time ago. The rain shield worked as intended. Let me jump over to Danielle's tent. Let me talk about something that would actually be handy. Okay, before I go over, this is mine. For simplicity's sake, I've just tied off both ends directly, but there's no overhead string line. But if we go over to Danielle's, note, hers doesn't have her sleeping bag in it yet. Hers has this overhead line, which is nice because it holds the cover up, but if you wanted to hang anything like a light, or say you were going for the day, or you wanted to hang up your shoes or whatever, I don't know, some bear spray, whatever you need, you can do that pretty easily. So that's how we did that. And you can see they look about the same from the outside. Obviously, if we really wanted to, we could adjust the tension on them, but I don't think it really matters. This thing survived the little freak rainstorm earlier. And as I'd said before, those 3D printed tensioner things work really well. Nothing, I mean nothing, has shifted overnight, which is awesome. I mean, over the course of the day when we were gone, gosh, I'm tired. So hopefully, if all goes well, we'll get a decent night's sleep. I am absolutely exhausted, so I think anything short of a bear attacking our campsite will be good. So, need to finish putting that out. Just dropping this off over here. I will hopefully see you all in the morning. Yeah, as much as we try and pack light, holy crap, we packed a lot of stuff. Alright, so it's the next morning. I've removed the top cover just because it made things a lot simpler for filming as we're breaking camp, but I will say overall this worked. Now, it's not to say that it was perfect by any means. There are definitely some things that were a bit annoying. One of them is the fact that my sleeping bag is made from pretty much the same material this is made from, so there is zero coefficient of friction between the two, meaning I kind of slid around. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is this is not a mummy sleeping bag, and half the time the excess was doing that over the side, which wasn't the end of the world, but it was a little bit annoying. So one thing that Danielle had proposed that we never did for time reasons was either doing buttons or snaps, or probably just velcro because it can rip apart, putting something like that on here so you can kind of enclose yourself inside so you're not as worried about falling out. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, the other thing I will say is I tend to sleep on my side, and tend to curl up when I sleep. So trying to do that in here was a little bit trickier, but honestly, compared to sleeping in a tent with an air mattress, I would say it was on par. So definitely I wouldn't do this for like a multi-day camping stint, but for just, a little, oh, we're just gonna, camp here for a night like what we're doing and then move on to somewhere else, it's not a bad option. Definitely you're going to want to have a cold weather rated sleeping bag. And the other thing I will say is, as well, is the cover's not here. Obviously it came down in a triangular shape, so around where my head was, didn't exactly have, it wasn't windy, but there would definitely be a breeze blowing through, so that was definitely an issue. But like I said, this whole thing was pretty much how cheaply can we do this. But even if we don't use these hammocks for camping in, they're still actually really comfortable, and they're so tiny they're worth keeping in your car. It's awesome. And then the other really nice thing is we were able to use the included strapping, which was actually more than long enough to get the job done. Actually, I had Danielle pick up for my parents a backpack with my climbing gear in it, thinking that, that might come in handy. Ended up not needing it, so it's not a bad thing. So that kind of concludes this. I will say this is definitely something we're gonna, see what we can do with in the future and go from there.